The main use for your vasodilators would be to treat one very common cardiovascular disease as well, besides hypertension, that is normally found in developed countries is ischemic heart disease. Pag sinabi niyong ischemic heart disease, that means this is a heart that is not receiving enough oxygen. And remember, tissues like oxygen. Tissues need oxygen so that your tissues can produce aerobic metabolism. And that will make them viable as cells and viable as tissues. If you experience ischemic heart disease, there is one symptom that will normally occur when you have ischemic heart disease. And this is known as angina pectoris. Hindi vagina pectoris, ha? It is angina pectoris. Okay? This is the most common symptom of ischemia or tissue ischemia. Pag sinabi niyong angina, ang ibig sabihin niyan ay pain. So, pwede kayo magkaroon ng pain anywhere in the body. Pwede sa muscles nyo o sa ibang parte ng katawan nyo na may muscle kasi hindi siya nakaka-receive ng sapat na oxygen. Kaya nag-i-ischemia kayo. So, ganun din ang effect ng isang taong hindi nakaka-receive ng oxygen para sa puso niya. Your angina means pain. Your pectoris means the anatomical part where your heart is. And that is the chest wall. So when you combine angina pectoris, it means it is a chest wall pain. That means masakit ang dibdib ninyo. Now, you have to qualify the chest pain. Not all chest pain is considered cardiac in origin. Okay? Malalaman niyo yan kasi dapat galing kayo sa anatomy physiology. Pain, when given out, can either be of two varieties, sharp pain and diffuse pain. Your angina pectoris, that is cardiac in origin, is a diffuse variety of pain. Pag ituturo nyo yung pain, hindi yan sa loob, yan ay sa labas nangyayari yung pain. Kung kayo ay biglang nag-workout, dahil matagal na hindi nag-workout, biglang nagbuhat na sangkatuta, pain all over yan. Okay, tapos nag-chest flies pa kayo, kung ano-ano pa, biglang sumakit ang dibdib nyo. Nagpanik ang mga kamag-anak nyo, naku, pasok na saan yan? Sa emergency room, baka inatake sa puso. Ano bang ginawa mo? Ay, kanina po, nag-100 chest flies. Sigurado ako sasakit ang dibdib nyo. Okay? And it is normally a sharp pain. When it is a diffuse pain, it is going to spread all over from the left side of the chest to even your left shoulder. That will be a diffuse type of pain. And your pain, again, is secondary to a decrease in oxygen to the tissues that it is supposedly supplying. Plus, of course, the accumulation of toxic or metabolic or metabolites or byproduct or accumulation of metabolites in the tissue of your heart. Okay. Now, as far as the treatment for angina pectoris goes, there is the three basic group of drugs that is essential in the treatment of angina or ischemic heart disease, or at least the immediate treatment of ischemic heart disease. You have your organic nitrates. This is exemplified by nitroglycerin. You have your calcium channel blockers, particularly for your dihydropyridine varieties. And of course, you can also use your atypical varieties. And the third one is not a vasodilator, but it is part of the treatment of ischemic heart disease, and that is your beta blockers. Nakalagay naman sa libro niya, diba? I hope so. Okay. But of course, your book also includes newer drugs that are under investigation or that are probably in newer use in the treatment of ischemic heart disease. Okay? So yung ischemic, again, ischemic heart disease means that it has little oxygen or your oxygen is depleted in the requirement of the tissue that needs it. And the number one cause for ischemic heart disease is, of course, the The blockage of your main blood supply of your heart. What is the main blood supply of your heart? What is the blood supply of your heart? What is the blood supply of your heart? Ang tawag dyan ay coronary arteries. Okay? Kaya kung sinabi niyo nagkaroon ng coronary ang isang pasyente, inatake sa puso yun. Okay? And the most common cause of coronary problems is atherosclerosis obstruction. Ibig sabihin yan, meron kayong block sa inyong coronary arteries, and it is caused by what? Lipid plaques or cholesterol plaques. Okay? It is the most frequent cause of angina, particularly classic angina or effort angina. Okay? Now, there are several types of angina. Number one, you have the classic angina, or this is known as the angina of effort. Pag sinabi niyo angina of effort, when you are heavily stressed or you're doing more effort at work, then that means dito lang lumalabas yung angina pectoris. Dito lumalabas yung pain sa dibdib niyo. The other type of angina is known as your vasospastic angina or variant angina. Ano ibig sabihin ng variant angina? Susunod, babagsak yung thermos na yan. Pagkatapos mong uminom. Pag bumagsak yan, maniwala ka. Okay? Vasospastic angina or variant angina, kahit wala kang ginagawa o may ginagawa ka, minsan lumalabas lang bigla yung angina pectoris o yung chest pain. Kahit naglalakad ka lang, bigla sumakit, tapos mamaya mawawala. O nakaupo ka lang, bigla nandyan, bigla mawawala. Okay? This is what is known as a transient vasospasm of your coronary arteries. Okay? That means, nagda-vasoconstrict spontaneously ang inyong coronary arteries. Kaya kulang ang oxygen na dumadaloy dun sa inyong puso. This is also known as your Prince metal angina. Okay? Malalaman niyo yan by history kasi hindi niyo alam, hindi siya sumasabay sa isang event na ginagawa ng tao. Bigla na lang dumadating siya. The last one, which is the worst kind, is known as your what? Is your unstable angina. Okay. Your unstable angina is also known as angina at rest. Ibig sabihin niya, wala na kayong ginagawa, hindi na nga kayo gumagalaw, pero sumasakit ang dibdib niyo. This is the worst type of coronary syndrome or your worst kind of ischemic heart disease. This is the type of angina that is highly risk, that is increased risk for myocardial infarction. Okay? So tatlo yan ha. Classic angina or angina at effort or effort angina. It only occurs if you are in a highly effort or highly stressful situation. Okay? Prince metal or transient or or your variant angina are those that occur sporadically. There is no event that will tell you the occurrence of these type of angina. Your unstable angina is the angina at rest. It will occur during nothing. You're not doing anything. And again, it is the higher risk for myocardial infarction. Okay? Maintindihan. So in all of this, in all of the anginas that you will feel, there are only two basic pathologies. Okay? The primary cause of angina pectoris is number one, I've already said it to you time and time again, or over and over again, is the decrease in oxygen delivery to your heart. Decrease delivery of oxygen to the heart. And second is the increased oxygen requirement of the heart. Bumaba ang supply, nag-increase ang demand ng oxygen ng puso ninyo. Okay? So when you have these two basic pathologies and cause of angina pectoris, then that means you already know the treatment strategy in treating your angina or your ischemic heart disease. Number one is what? Increase the delivery of oxygen. Tama? And how do you increase the delivery of oxygen? Increase the flow to the coronary vessels. So how do you increase the flow to the coronary vessels? You vasodilate the coronary vessels. The second one is to decrease oxygen demand. So what do you mean by decreasing oxygen demand? Sabihin nyo sa puso, tigil-tigilan niya ang paggalaw para hindi kayo gumamit ng sakatutak na oxygen. Kaya lang kailangan niyo ang puso niyo para mabuhay. Correct? So pag biglang nag-increase ang demand ng puso niyo ng oxygen, kasi bigla sinabi niyo, Dad, may problema ako. Ano anak? Buntis ako. Sa ganitong edad at buntis kayo, sigurado ko atake sa puso abutin ng pasyente niyo. Kasi nag-increase ng demand ng oxygen. Yung may ischemic heart disease ang tatay niyo. Naka-block pa lahat ng vessels niya. Wala na. Atake ang puso. Dead right there, right now. So with the 3 types of angina, with effort angina, what do? You have increased oxygen demand. Kasi effort angina, dumadami ang trabaho nyo. So what do? You decrease cardiac workload. Tama? And there is one strategy that is being done by one of your drugs, and that is to shift the metabolism of your heart from a lipid, primary lipid using organ, to a carbohydrate using organ. A lipid using organ, which is the heart, ang gusto ng puso nyo ay taba. Taba ang ginagamit niya para makagawa ng ATP. E tandaan nyo, fat metabolism, sigurado ko tapos na kayo ng biochemistry, di ba? Fat metabolism is a very expensive biochemical reaction to produce ATP. You need ATP to produce ATP. At matakaw siya sa oxygen. So, pag ginamit nyo ang lipid metabolism for your ATP use in the heart, gagamit ka ng sakatutak na oxygen. Pero ang isa sa matipid na gamit ng oxygen that produces a lot of ATP is a carbohydrate metabolism. Konti na ng oxygen gagamitin nyo, baka doon sa citric acid cycle lang. Baka hindi pa doon sa glycolysis. And you use less oxygen to produce a lot of ATP. Di ba? Ganun yun? So, tingnan nyo ulit yung beta oxidation nyo ng lipids versus your carbohydrate metabolism and producing ATP. So, you now want to shift a lipid metabolism to a carbohydrate metabolism, reducing less process for the heart to use ATP and oxygen. The second one is variant angina. So, anong gagawin niya sa variant angina? Bigla na lang, kumikipot, lumuluwag, kumikipot, lumuluwag. So, anong gagawin niyo? Maghahanap kayo ng vasodilators. And you have 2 basic vasodilators. You have your nitrates and your calcium channel blockers. The third one is your unstable angina. Problema niyo sa unstable angina, kailangan itapon niyo na lahat ng droga sa pasyenteng ito. Kasi talagang aatakihin na sa puso ito. You can give your nitrates, your calcium channel blockers, your beta blockers, and everything else that will increase the risk of your patient from having an acute myocardial infarction. If your patient is having problems, having unstable angina secondary to dyslipidemia, that means you have an increased level of your bad cholesterols, then you can give your lipid-lowering drugs. Your HMG-CoA reductase inhibitor can be given, which are very good in preventing at least an acute myocardial infarction. Correct? So when you understand angina, and again, in angina, nasa libro nyo, you need to make sure that, number 1, your heart gets enough oxygen. The demand of oxygen of the heart is very great. Second, how to supply the heart with oxygen. Make sure that your coronary vessels are working properly. Okay? And third, your vascular or your coronary tone or your vascular arteries must also be good as far as they're functioning. So when you use oxygen sa puso, saan ba siya gagamit ng oxygen? Kailan ba siya gagamit ng oxygen? Number 1, pag masyadong mabilis ang tibok ng puso. Pag masyadong malakas ang contraction ng puso nyo. Pag masyadong malaki ang puso nyo, gumagamit din siya ng mas maraming oxygen. So kung kayo ay may cardiomegaly, that means malaki ang puso nyo. That's the terminal end or the end organ failure of the heart. Pag lumaki siya, hindi ibig sabihin yan gumaganda ang inyong generosity. Pag lumalaki ang puso, pag lumaki ang puso nyo, that means malapit na siya sa ending ng kanyang function. So, pero sa ending yan, since malaki nga siya, gumagamit siya ng sangkatutak na oxygen. Okay, so do not let your heart become very big or else it uses oxygen too much. Increase heart rate, increase contractility, increase in blood pressure, such as hypertension, and increase in the ventricular volume or the diameter of your ventricles. Will also use a lot of oxygen. Kaya pag gusto niyo mamatay agad ang tatay niyo at alam niyo naiiwan niya sa inyo lahat ng ari-arian niya, pwede niyo na patayin by one simple message, Dad, pregnant ako. Ay, iho, hindi ka mabubuntis. Okay. So, kung gusto niyo patayin ang mga magulang niyo, kung sino man ang na may sakit sa puso, magbigay kayo ng news na ikakabahala ng puso at dire-diretsong wala na. Bye-bye. Pero siguro niyo may St. Peter para hindi kayo gumastos sa libing niya. Okay? So, when you want to reduce your cardiac oxygen demand, of course, papalitin mo yung puso. In some cases, surgery for cardiomegaly can be done. I know I've seen some surgical procedures wherein they reduce the size of the heart. Okay? But that's surgery. Okay? But of course, wala kang magawa kung di gumamit ng mga droga niyo, vasodilators, beta blocker, and calcium channel blockers. Again, are the three basic group of drugs that are used for ischemic heart disease or angina pectoris. Okay? Yung sinasabi ko sa inyong fatty acid, substrate for energy, again, that's also one of the mechanisms by which you can reduce the amount of oxygen being used by the heart. Okay? Nandiyan ba sa libro niya? These are known as your fatty acid oxidation inhibitors. May isang gamot yan. Ano nakalagay na gamot dyan? Okay. The third one is of course making sure that your vascular or your coronary arteries are patent. Bukas siya at walang block. Okay. Blood pressure plays a very good role in giving oxygen to the heart. Can you give me the part of the cardiac cycle where the heart gets its oxygen? Huh? Can anybody tell me? Which part of the cardiac cycle the heart gets its oxygen? Can anybody tell me? Or do you don't know you don't know the parts of the cardiac cycle? Sa mga anatomy facial, what are the parts of the cardiac cycle? Hindi ba ang heart is a muscle? So, ang gagawin lang naman ng heart is to contract and to relax. So, dadalawa lang naman ng contraction at saka relaxation, di ba? Contraction is systole. Relaxation is diastole. Di ba? Kaya nga meron kayong BP na systolic pressure and diastolic pressure. Systolic pressure means this is the pressure of the heart when the heart is contracting. Diastolic pressure is the pressure that is exerted when the heart is relaxing. Hindi pwedeng mag-lax totally ang heart. There has to be a vascular tone that produces a BP. Hindi kayo pwedeng mag-BP 0. Okay? Anyway. So when you have your hypertension, sa tingin nyo, sino sa dalawa ang pwedeng makaproduce ng hypertension? Sino sa dalawang part ng reading ng blood pressure nyo can produce a heart attack? Sino sa dalawang elevated? Sino sa dalawang dapat elevated para makaproduce kayo ng acute myocardial infarction na napakabilis? Yan. Sige. Sino mataas? Systolic o diastolic? Systolic. Diastolic. Systolic. Systolic.
Systolic.
Systolic. Diastolic. Systolic. Systolic. Diastolic daw. Systolic. 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 Ano? Ay, olic lang na rin po eh. Systolic. Sis. Sis. Systolic. 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 Ano? Diastolic. Systolic. 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 Diyos ko na tayo. So, kukunti lang ko napapasa ng board exam. It is diastolic. Why diastolic? Because it is when the heart is at rest where you get your oxygen. Doon bumubukas ang bukana ng coronary vessels nyo tuwing diastole. Every time that your heart rests, pumapasok ang oxygen o pumapasok ang dugo sa muscle ng puso nyo. So kung masyado mataas ang diastolic pressure nyo, baka hindi makapasok yung puso nyo. That means the heart is pumping too fast. And if you're pumping too fast, the diastolic time will be reduced. A reduction in diastolic time will also reduce the time where the heart gets its oxygen. So kung masyadong mabilis, kukunti rin ang oxygen ng kanya, anytime aatakihin ng puso ang pasyente. It is diastolic. Kaya minsan, okay sa akin kahit mataas ang systolic, basta yung diastolic ko naka-maintain sa 90 and below. Kahit 200 over 80 yan, okay pa ako. Pero wag lang 180 over 120. Ayun, good lang. Papababain ko talaga yan. Atakin sa puso ang pasyente ko. Okay? Again, it is at the diastole that your heart gets its oxygen. That is why you need for your heart to really beat within the allotted beating time per minute. How many beats of heart is normal for 1 minute? Ayos. Kala ko nag-clean farm na tayo. What is the normal heart rate? O, akala ko ba nag-laboratory rin tayo? What is the normal heart rate? The normal heart rate is 60 to 100. Below 60, kukulangin naman kayo ng dugong dumadalo eh. Masyado mabagal yun. Pag above 100, masyado mabilis naman yun para makakuha ng oxygen ang inyong puso. Okay? Now, as I've said, one of the main features in ischemic heart disease, or one of the main treatment strategy, is to actually relax your vascular smooth muscle, which means your coronary vessels and all of the blood vessels that need to supply your heart with blood and oxygen. So, there are drugs, or the drug's mechanism of action is mainly directed towards the relaxation of vascular smooth muscle. So, sa isang table dyan sa libro nyo, nandyan yung 4 na mechanism na siya magpapadilate ng blood vessels ninyo, your coronary vessels. Nandyan ba? Nandyan yan. Number 1 is to increase CGMP. Tama? Increase guanosine monophosphate. Number 2 is decrease intracellular calcium. Third is to stabilize or prevent depolarization of your vascular smooth muscle. And the fourth one is to increase cyclic AMP vascular smooth muscles. Nandiyan ba? All of them are supposed to be related to what? To the activity of a muscle to contract. Okay, papansinin nyo. All of them are supposed to what? Interfere in the interaction of your contracting protein so that your muscles don't contract as much. They relax. Okay? There is a interference between myosin chains and actin protein so that your muscles do not contract, and that produces what? Vasodilation. Okay? For patients that have increased cGMP, ang drug that exemplifies increase in cyclic GMP is your nitrates or your nitric donors. Nitrates. Okay? You have molecular donors of nitric oxide or for NO synthesis. That is the one that exemplifies an increase in cyclic GMP. Your second one is to decrease intracellular calcium. Again, decreasing calcium inside your muscle cell will prevent the activity and interaction of myosin and actin. If you still remember your anatomy and physiology in the contraction of muscle, your calcium is needed so that troponin and tropomyosin will allow your actin to interact with myosin. So with a decrease in calcium, you don't allow muscle contraction and it produces relaxation. Two of your drugs that can produce this activity would be, of course, number one, your calcium channel blockers. Hindi ka magpapapasok ng calcium. At number two would actually be your beta blockers. Diba? The third one is to stabilize and prevent depolarization. So if you prevent depolarization, ano ang activity ng cell membrane nyo pag nag-prevent kayo ng depolarization? Ano ang membrane activity or membrane status if you prevent depolarization? That means your membrane is in a state of hyperpolarization. So if it is in a state of hyperpolarization, ano ang binuksan yung channel? Ang binuksan nyo ay binuksan nyo una ang potassium channels. These are the ones that will prevent depolarization because your membrane is in a hyperpolarized state. And two drugs can open your potassium channels or increase the permeability of potassium to the channels of your cell membranes, and that is minoxidil. And the other one is nicorandril. Okay? The last of your mechanism of action is to increase cyclic AMP. Technically, increasing cyclic AMP should produce bronchodilation. And it should produce vasoconstriction. But in this case, if you properly stimulate and produce increased cyclic AMP by a certain group of drugs, it can produce vasodilation. The ones that can produce vasodilation are your what? Your beta-2 agonists. Okay? But not the ones that are being used by asthma. Okay? These are your dopamine, your dobutamine, and your phenoldiazepam. Okay? So again, know the actions or the mechanisms of actions exemplified by the different drugs for ischemic heart disease. Okay. So let's go now to the three proper drugs for angina. Sabi ko nga, there are three major groups, but again, there are newer drugs that are also being used. So the three permanently members ng angina pectoris is organic nitrates, calcium channel blockers, and beta blockers. Pumasok na lang dyan si ranolazine at si ibrabazine. Okay? Pero other than that, again, the three are the mainstay treatments. Okay? All of them decreases myocardial oxygen demand or requirement by the heart. Okay? By decreasing oxygen use of the heart. Okay? And of course, it also increases your blood supply and oxygen supply to the heart by vasodilating. Nitrates are normally used for sporadic or for prophylaxis. Okay? Hindi siya ginagamit as a long maintenance drug. It is only for prophylaxis. Okay? Your maintenance will either be a beta blocker or a calcium channel blocker. So let's start with nitrates. What are nitrates or nitrites? What are nitrates or nitrites? Your nitrates and nitrites are simple nitric or nitrous acid esters of polyalcohols. And the prototype drug for your nitrates is none other than the explosive drug known as nitroglycerin. Okay? Nitroglycerin. Did you produce nitroglycerin in the laboratory? Noong panahon namin, available yung mga gamot na yan. Available yung mga drugs na yan na pag hinahalo-halo namin lahat yan, sasabog yan. Ano ibig sabihin ng TNT? Tawag ng tanghalan. Di ba sumasabog ng talan ng tawag ng tanghalan? What is TNT? It is? Ay, Diyos ko. Tapos na tayo sa abbreviation, di ba? It is trinitotoluene. Ang narinig ko, trinitotoluene. Oo, ang bagus ko dahil. Isa rin pala sa mga problema niyo. Pagdating ng Clean Farm, babalik pa rin sa Clean Farm 2 ang abbreviations. Okay? Hindi mawawala abbreviation. Constant reminder of abbreviation sa Clean Farm 2. Akala nyo nakalusot na kayo ng abbreviations, ha? Hindi pa rin. Pati computation, hindi pa rin kayo nagkaroon. Alright? So, try nitrotoluene. Anyway, now most of your nitroglycerin that we produce for as vasodilator is not the explosive variety. Okay? When you store nitroglycerin, you don't need to, all you need is a tightly sealed container. Okay? Hindi naman kailangan ng photosensitive, etc., etc. It just needs a temperature-controlled setting and a tightly sealed. But ngayon naman, ang nitroglycerin nyo is technically either a patch or a tablet, a sublingual tablet. Okay? So, pag kayo ay nag-store ng nitroglycerin, sabi ko nga sa inyo, you only need to store it in temperature-controlled settings as well as sealed containers. Light is not a problem. Kahit iwan nyo yung matagal sa ilaw, natural pag may ilaw, iinit yan. So, kailangan control nyo pa rin. Pero pag natama ng ilaw yan, hindi yan sasabog bigla-bigla. Okay? Now, one problem of your nitrates is that it has a very high first pass effect. So, kilala nyo pa naman ang first pass effect sa Pickle 1, di ba? First pass effect. Dahil ang bioavailability ng inyong nitrates is only 10%. Less than 10%. Mas lalo na pag maraming nitrate functional group doon sa inyong nitroglycerin or nitrate, mas malaki ang kanyang high or first pass effect. Masyado mataas ang first pass effect niya. So, bumababa ang kanyang bioavailability. The most very bioavailable nitrates is your mononitrate. Pero yung mga dinitrates nyo at trinitrates, madaling sirain yan ng inyong lever. Okay? So if you're going to use a nitrate, a nitroglycerin, make sure it is the mononitrate variety rather than the dinitrate variety. Okay? So, you can again give this through the heart, through the anterior chest wall. Dito yan ha, sa anterior chest wall, sa left side. Huwag kung saan sa chest. Okay? Hindi pwede sa ilalim na subso ha. Tapos sa chest. Okay? So, these again will produce instantaneously a vasodilation. We normally don't give it orally. It's mostly given sublingually. Why sublingually? Why sublingually? Why sublingually? It bypasses the first pass effect and produces a greater bioavailability. Okay? So, naintindihan niya na? Ay, nako. So, you can find a nitrate that can probably produce a longer effect and better. But again, if they are not used as a maintenance drug, they can only be used as prophylaxis or for immediate events of vasoconstriction or vasospastic activity. Okay? Now, one historical nitrate is known as amyl nitrite. Amyl nitrite is actually a drug that is present, but not anymore present in the pharmaceutical industry. It is present in the sex industry. Sex industry. Okay? They are manufactured and termed as poppers. That is amyl nitrite. Amyl nitrite is supposedly a volatile gas that is normally kept in ampules, and these ampules are broken and then inhaled. So, sa sex industry, ang tawag dyan yung poppers. Binubuksan yung bote, tapos ini-inhale. It produces vasodilation. The vasodilation is not for the heart. It is for penile enhancement of blood flow. Kaya tumitigas na matagal-tagal. But we don't use it anymore for angina. Okay? Naintindihan. I hope so. So what is the mechanism of action? Again, it increases cyclic GMP. Your nitrates or your nitroglycerin actually releases nitrite ion so that it can be converted to nitric oxide. And again, the name of nitric oxide is endothelial-derived relaxing factor, or EDRF. That is why you produce vasodilation. Now, one effect of your nitrates is that you easily get tolerance from these drugs. That's why we don't use it as a maintenance drug. May tolerance kayo niyan. Okay? You produce tolerance. And when you produce tolerance, then probably it will not work anymore. Okay? Yung isang anti-anginal drug that probably produces the same effect and also produces a increased potassium permeability is your nicorandril. Okay? But of course, may gamit pa rin naman ang nitrates or nitroglycerin. When you also give nitroglycerin, since it's a potent vasodilator, always check the BP of your patient. Pag bumagsak ang BP ng pasyente nyo na below 90/60, and you are on nitroglycerin, remove the patch. Tanggalin nyo. Okay? Kasi it's the one that is contributing to what? To the drop in blood pressure. Okay? Ay, nako. So, ang effect talaga ng nitroglycerin or your nitrates is on smooth muscle, ha? Not on cardiac muscle, not on skeletal muscle. It is on smooth muscle. Okay? Anyway. So again, if you're going to be given nitrates, expect that you are holding a BP that is normal or slightly lower. And since your drug is continuously being introduced into the system, that means your BP is quite a little low. And your body may not be reacting to a change in position. When you change your body from a lying down to a standing up, it is very prone to orthostatic hypotension. At since titibok na mas mabilis ang puso nyo, dahan-dahan din kayo. Magtatachycardia kayo ng bigla. Okay? Anyway. So again, you have problems of orthostatic hypotension. You have problems of tolerance. And, of course, alam ko wala na namang nakakakuha ng result na to. And cancer in people using nitroglycerins or nitrates. Tandaan nyo noon, yung salitre na nilalagay sa tosino nyo at sa tapan nyo, it supposedly produces carcinogens or are carcinogens of the esophagus and the stomach. But right now, there are better alternatives to the salitre. Okay, yung mga curing salts nyo. Okay? Kuha? So again, restricted ang inyong use ng nitrates. Yan ay ginagamit lang pag kayo ay biglang inaatake, and we don't advise it to become long periods, or yun nga, sandali lang ang gamit ng nitrates nyo. You can use your beta blockers and calcium channel blockers as a long-term maintenance of vasodilation. Okay? Sabi ko nga, if there is any drug that has the both roles of nitrates and potassium permeability, it is nicorandril. So you probably can use nicorandril. Okay? The second one, again, would be your calcium channel blockers. Your calcium channel blockers block exclusively one particular calcium channel. There are many calcium channels that we know that is found in your books. Ito pinag-usapan na naman natin ito. Ilang bang klase ng calcium channels ang alam natin? You have the L-type, the T-type, the N-type, the PQ-type, and the R-type. Your calcium channel blockers, particularly your verapamil, as well as your dihydropyridines, are the ones that block specifically L-type channels. Okay? So again, alam natin ang calcium channel blockers. So again, you block entry of calcium into the smooth muscle, preventing your interaction of myosin and actin so that there is no contraction that occurs. I hope so. Although there are other calcium channel blockers that can block other calcium channels such as bifenthrin or piperidine, anyway, they can be used. Okay? Now, as I said, severe calcium channel blocking is done by atypical calcium channel blockers, which means verapamil and diltiazem. Severe yun ha, so dahan-dahan kayo. But the rest can produce better and more tolerable depression of calcium channel blocking. So with calcium channel blockers, yun nga, the effects is basically relaxation of smooth muscle. It is not only vascular smooth muscle that your calcium channel blockers affect, it can also block uterine smooth muscle. It can also block GIT smooth muscle. Okay? And it can affect, of course, the entry of calcium into the electrical system of the heart, meaning your SA node, your AV node, and your Purkinje fibers. So the only thing you have to worry about with calcium channel blockers is its drug interaction. So again, do not give calcium channel blockers if you are receiving beta blockers. Dahan-dahan. If your patients are already bradycardic or hypotensive, do not give your calcium channel blockers. Calcium channel blockers are also not given for patients that have heart failure. Okay? So alam niyo na naman yung calcium channel blockers niyo ha, hindi ko na pag-usapan yan. Okay. The third and final main cause to treatment of angina pectoris is of course a beta blocker. It is an anti-anginal drug. It is not a vasodilator. Okay? Your beta blockers are the ones that decrease the need of the heart for oxygen. Binabawasan niya ang kanyang workload. Decrease heart rate, decrease BP, decrease muscle contractility. But of course, there are contraindications to giving beta blockers. If you have diabetes mellitus, hindi pwede. Pag kayo ay may sakit sa baga, hindi rin pwede. Not as long as you are using a beta-1 specific or beta-1 beta-1 selective blocker, CHF, or chronic heart failure or heart failure, and that you don't also give. Okay? In some cases, beta blocker for doctors might actually be an initial therapy for patients that have ischemic heart disease. And actually, beta blockers have been seen to reduce mortality and morbidity of patients with heart problems. Okay. Ang problema mo lang sa beta blocker is that, number one, hindi kayo makapag-exercise ng talaga, ng matindihan. Okay? You may have erectile dysfunction. You might have decreased blood flow to the other parts of the body, including lower extremities. Okay? So for the newer anti-anginal drugs, hanapin nyo na lang si ranolazine. Para may magbasa naman kayo, hindi naman natin ako magaan. You can also have your partial fatty acid oxidizers, which is your trimetazidine. Ano na naman? Dali lang. Bosin? Bakit? Bakit? Hindi ko yata kayo si Sese. Si Cese. Si Cese. Alam ko si Cese. Di ba si Cese? Ay, tanungin mo na lang sa ano kay Isa. Hindi ko na alam. Hindi ko na maalala. Wala ako dyan. Ako ay nasa lupalop ng perpetual. Okay lang yan. Okay. Tawag kay Isa. Okay. Okay. Garap ng Catholics. Okay? Oh, you also have Ibrabadine. Diyan pa ba si Ibrabadine? Ibrabadine is a drug that slows down the heart. It is a bradycardic drug. It selects sodium channels to block rather than calcium channels. Okay? Ibrabadine. Diba? Tingnan nyo na lang yan. Okay? So, tingnan nyo yung mga bagong droga na ginagamit para sa anti-angina. But again, the three primary casting of angina pectoris and vasodilators would be your organic nitrates, your calcium channel blockers, and your beta blockers. Dali-dali na lecture, di ba? Correct? Correct. So, pag kayo ay nag-first line treatment ng coronary artery disease that produces ischemic heart disease, again, you always go back to lifestyle modification. Okay? Kung ang pasyente nyo ay may block or may pagsisikip sa inyong coronary vessels, that means you would like to prevent your blood from being too thick in consistency and prevent it from clotting. So that means you have to give drugs that will prevent blood clots. And there is one cell-like structure in your body that is producing clots. And what is this? What cell-like structure can produce blood clots? Kaya sabi sa importante anatomy physiology. What? Invierno. Ano? Ano? Cell-like. Hindi naman cell ang fibrin eh. Cell-like. Because this is actually not a cell. It is a cell-like structure. Pag translate nyo siya, maliit na platito. Ang ganda, di ba? Parang binigay ko lang ganun sagot, di ba? Platelet. Because your platelet is the main and central cell-like structure that activates your coagulation system. That's why your patients get anti-platelet drugs. Correct? To prevent it clotting and clotting at the coronary arteries. Kasi pag nag-clot sa coronary arteries, wala na ng oxygen ang inyong puso. Okay? And of course, you'd like also to prevent blockages secondary to the accumulation of cholesterol plaques or atherosclerotic plaques. You would use a lipid-lowering drugs that would reduce the presence of plaques. Okay? Even ACE inhibitors can still be used for what? For coronary artery disease. But if anything, if all the drugs don't work anymore, and you're still having coronary blocks, wala kayong choice kundi pabuksan nyo yung coronary arteries nyo. Anong gagawin nyo? Mag-angiography kayo or mag-angioplasty kayo. That's already surgery. Mag-e-hepa rin pa kayo, etc. etc. Okay? Naintindihan. Okay. Now, second part of that chapter, vasodilators, also treat one other type of disease that needs vasodilation. Okay? And this is for peripheral artery disease. Yung una sa atin, yung coronary artery disease or CAD. Ito, peripheral artery disease. Ibig sabihin yan, yung mga vessels nyo sa periphery nyo, particularly the lower extremities, will also have a problem of ischemia. Okay? Pag nagkaroon ng pain sa legs nyo, nangingitim na ang legs nyo, walang dumadaloy na oxygen dyan or dugo. Kasi yan ay lahat ay vasoconstricted na or blocked na lahat yan. You have a problem of what is known as pain in the legs or what is known as claudication. Okay, claudication. Now, this also puts the patient in increased mortality if you have peripheral artery disease. Number 1, hindi ka makalakad. Number 2, you produce ulcers. Remember that kahit nasa labas na yung nangyayari, pag walang oxygen ng isang parte ng inyong katawan, nasisira yung tissue. Pag nasira yung tissue, mag-ulcerate yan, magnanaknak yan. Kasi parang patay yan na namatay yung tissue. So ano mangyayari? Parang may zombie na pwede nyo kain yung laman. You have ulcers. And of course, since you have ulcers, you're now prone to infections. Okay? So there are very few drugs. Actually, dalawang drug nga lang yan. There are only 2 drugs that are exclusively used for peripheral artery disease. You have pentoxifilin and you have cilostazol. Tama? Okay, all of them are supposed to decrease the viscosity of blood, plus open and vasodilate and produce an antiplatelet activity for your lower extremities. Nakakita na ba kayo ng tinatawag namin Buerger's disease? B-U-E-R-G-E-R-S. Buerger's disease. Kung nakakita kayo ng legs na maitim na, parang legs ng patay, mga naninigarilyo yan. Okay? Buerger's disease. Hindi yung pagkain na burger. Okay. So, pag nag-treat kayo ng peripheral artery disease, ang number 1 aim nyo, kung kaya nyo bang gawin, is number 1, reverse the atherosclerosis. Okay. Second, reverse or control hypertension and obesity. Third, stop the smoking. And finally, another disease that can also destroy blood vessels is diabetes mellitus. Okay? But again, there are only 2 exclusive drugs used for peripheral artery disease. Pentoxifilin and cilostazol. Diyan naman yung sigurado ko na. Okay? And that ends your chapter of vasodilators. Bilis, di ba? Pwede ba tayo mag-third? Gusto niyo mag-third? Baka masok ka na si Theo na alam ko masaya lang lagay niya ngayon. Triplets. Any questions? Any questions? Wow, we have 30-minute break. Bagong same cast of characters na naman makikita ko. Oh, tandaan nyo, Picol 2 versus Clint Park 2. Pwede pa rin kayong bumagsak ng Picol 2. Not definitely Picol. Clint Park 2. Oh, skadal. Sabi nga ni Dean, huwag nyo asahan ang removals ni Montesa. Mas lalo na kung kinokontrol ni Tamayo ang inyong schedule. Pag kinontrol niya, wala akong magagawa. Pag hindi ko na kaya ibigay yung removal. Right? CCTV? Crucifix yan. Hindi ko nyo dyan. Obvious yan. Parang ang tingin nyo, diretso sa akin. Pag di kayo diretso, hindi nakita ko ka. Pag di kayo diretso. Mas matakot kayo sa kanya kasi sa siya. Wala yan. Wala kasi. Ano lang yan? Mukha lang totoo. Smile, everyone.